Yeah, so text 27, Yavat Sandhyate Kinchit Sattvam Stavara Jangamam Kshetra Kshetragya Samyogat Tadvidi Bharatarshaba. O chief of the Bharatas, know that whatever you see in existence, both the moving and the non-moving, is only a combination of the field of activities and the knower of the field. So Prabhupada is saying, both material nature and the living entity, which were existing before the creation of the cosmos, are explained in this verse. Whatever is created is but a combination of the living entity and material nature. There are many manifestations like trees, mountains, and hills, which are not moving, and there are many existences which are moving, and all of them are but combinations of material nature and the superior nature of the living entity. Yeah, we explained about this yesterday also. Jangama and Stavara. Actually, we had this last time. You can go to the next one. 28. Saman sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshvaram vinashyatsva vinashyantam yapashyati sapasyati. One who sees the supersoul accompanying the individual soul in all bodies and understands that neither the soul nor the supersoul within the destructible body is ever destroyed actually sees. Yeah, so that is the point. We're supposed to be seers. And how we can become that? By reading the Bhagavad-gita and following the process of Bhakti Yoga. Yeah, so to see it means to have gotten a transcendental intelligence. Sometimes seers are called rishis. So here the word for seeing is pasha. So one who sees this, yapashati, who sees what? Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshvaram, who see the parameshvara, or the supersoul, in everybody's heart. Sarveshu bhuteshu, everybody's, actually in everybody's body. Krishna has explained elsewhere that he is in everybody's heart. Sarasya cham ridi sannivishtaha. As we explained yesterday also, we have this vish. The word Vishnu comes from that. So vish, it means to reside somewhere. So in that way, we reside. Also, you can say the living entity is part of the Lord. So in a minded way, he is also doing what the Lord is doing. So if the Lord is residing, then we are also residing. So he's the big one. He's like the soul. So in that way, he's like the sun. I mean, he's a great one, and we are the small sun rays. So in that way, when he's residing somewhere, he's residing everywhere, just like the sun is everywhere when it's shining. But the sun rays are not everywhere. They are limited, in their power of influence. So in that way, it's not going very far. One sun ray, small spark, yeah, it just takes a little wall and is blocked out immediately. But the sun, it cannot be blocked out. If the sun is strong enough or is close enough, it can burn up the whole wall. So in that way, Krishna is too strong. Nothing can stop him. We can be stopped. So in that way, we have the material energy, and it can stop us. It's a Bahiranga Shakti, external energy. It can stop us. We are spiritual, but we are very small spiritual. The Maya is actually very big. It's bigger than us. It's explained like that. On account of our minuteness, we can be stopped by the Maya Shakti. So Prabhupada says in the purport here that anyone who by good association can see three things combined together, the body, the proprietor of the body or individual soul, and the friend of the individual soul, is actually knowledge. Unless one has the association of a real knower of spiritual subjects, one cannot see these three things. Those who do not have such association are ignorant. They simply see the body and they think that when the body is destroyed, everything is finished. But actually it is not so. After the destruction of the body, both the soul and the supersoul exists, and they go on eternally in many various moving and non-moving forms. Yeah, so we are taking, a different body. Actually, it's said that it is possible to remember, the previous birth. It's called Jati Smara. You can take some kind of hypnosis or something. But to remember all of one's previous births, that's very difficult. So anyway, we go to the next one. Text 29. Samam pashyam hi sarvatra samavastitam ishvaram nahi nastyatmanatmanam tatuyati param gatim. One who sees the supersoul equally present everywhere, in every living being, does not degrade himself by his mind. Thus, he approaches the transcendental destination. Yeah. So the living entity, by accepting his material existence, has become situated differently than in his spiritual existence. But if one understands that the Supreme is situated in his Paramatma manifestation everywhere, that is, if one can see the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in every living thing, he does not degrade himself by a destructive mentality. He therefore gradually advances to the spiritual world. The mind is generally addicted to sense-gratifying processes, but when the mind turns to the Supersoul, one becomes advanced in spiritual understanding. Yeah, that's the point. The mind can turn. Did I explain that before? We have this Upanishadic verse. It was Suparna Sayoya Sakayaha Samana Vriksham Purisashvajate Tayora Pipala Svadhyati Anashnanyor Abhishaka Shiti. So it said in the tree of the body is likened to a tree, and there you have two birds. One is the Atma and another one is the Paramatma. So the Atma is taking advantage of the fruits in the tree. One fruit is sour and another fruit is sweet. So enjoying of the sweet fruit, then one is happy. Enjoying the sour fruit, eating the sour fruit, then one is unhappy. But the second bird, he's not doing nothing. He just sits there silently. But he's a good friend. And if the first bird, that is us, if we ask our friend in the heart, God or Paramatma, he will answer us. He'll give us guidance. And in that way is explained in the next Upanishadic verse that the jiva or the bird who was eating the fruits, he can actually join the second bird, and be eternally happy, because the second bird, he can fly out and go to Krishna. So we can follow that, the second bird and go to Krishna, and then we will have a nice second birth. Yeah, which will be in the Svarup. Svarup means the spiritual birth, or actually a revelation of the spiritual form, and even the format. So in that format there is no temporary happiness or distress. So in that way one has turned away from the sense gratifying process, which is Adyantavanta. It has a beginning and an end, and it's not meant for the intelligent person. To be advanced in spiritual understanding, in other words, one has to be spiritually intelligent. And that is happening by the Super Soul's arrangement. Tadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yenamam Upayantate. One gets something called Buddhi Yoga. So let's see what Krishna says in the next verse. Prakrityeva chakarmani kriyamanani sarvasha yapashyati tatatmanam akartaram sapashyati. One can see that all activities are performed by the body, which is created of material nature, and sees that the self does nothing, actually sees. This body is made by material nature, Prabhupada says, under the direction of the Supersoul, and whatever activities are going on in respect to one's body are not his doing. Whatever one is supposed to do, either for happiness or for distress, one is forced to do because of the bodily constitution. That makes sense, no? We have to eat because of our bodily constitution. It needs food. The bird has to fly. I heard that what do you call these animals which are having very strong teeth, like the beaver or I think also the rat. They need to always chew on something, otherwise their teeth are growing too long. It keeps their teeth, their teeth are growing quick, so they need to use their teeth a lot for eating, chewing, wood or whatever, because they have this constitution. Yeah, but the self, however, is outside of all these bodily activities. This body is given according to one's past desires. To fulfill desires, one is giving the body with which he acts accordingly. Practically speaking, the body is a machine designed by the Supreme Lord to fulfill desires. Full stop. So it's very simple. Okay, so text 31. Yada bhuta pritak bhavam ekastam anupashyati tata eva chavistaram brahma sampadyate tada. When a sensible man ceases to see different identities due to different material bodies, and he sees how beings are expanded everywhere, he attains to the Brahman conception. Yes. So Brahman conception, he means he is liberated at that point. Anaditva nigurnatvat paramatmayamavyaya sharirasto pikanteya nakaroti nalipyate. Those with the vision of eternity can see that the imperishable soul is transcendental, eternal, and beyond the modes of nature. Despite contact with the material body of Arjuna, the soul neither does anything nor is entangled. Yeah, so Prabhupada says a living entity appears to be born because of the birth of the material body, but actually the living entity is eternal. He is not born, and in spite of his being situated in the material body, he is transcendental and eternal. Next text. Yatha sarvagatam saukshmyad akasham nupalipyate sarvatra vastito dehe tadatma nupalipyate. The sky, due to its subtle nature, does not mix with anything, although it is all-pervading. Similarly, the soul situated in Brahman vision does not mix with the body, though situated in that body. Yes, so very simple. As Prabhupada says, the air enters into water, mud, stool, or whatever else is there, still it does not mix with anything. Similarly, the living entity, even though situated in varieties of bodies, is aloof from them due to its subtle nature. It's a chitkana, it's actually different. It's a spiritual particle. Completely different from the body it's residing in. Yatha prakashayate ka krishnam lokamimam ravi kshetram kshetri tata krishnam prakashayate bharata. O son of Bharata, as the sun alone illuminates all this universe, so does the living entity, one with the body, one within the body, sorry. In the spiritual world, one is one with the body, but not here. Here's the difference between the body and the soul. So one within the body illuminates the entire body by consciousness. So it's just like the sunshine. The sun is situated in one place, but it's illuminating elsewhere. So he said the soul is situated in the heart. Kshetram kshetragyo revam antaram jnana shakshusha bhuta prakriti moksham cha yeviduryantate te param. Those who see with eyes of knowledge the difference between the body and the knower of the body and can also understand the process of liberation from bondage in material nature attain to the supreme goal. Prabhupada says very simply here, the purport of this 13th chapter is that one should know the distinction between the body, the owner of the body, and the supersoul. One should recognize the process of liberation as described in verses 8 through 12. Then one can go on to the supreme destination. Yes, in these verses 8 to 12, Krishna has explained what is actually knowledge. And to know that will be the background or the foundation of getting liberation, or you can say full spiritual knowledge. And Prabhupada then explains the process in a nutshell. A faithful person should at first have some good association to hear of God and thus gradually become enlightened. When one accepts a spiritual master, one can learn to distinguish between matter and spirit. And that becomes a stepping stone for further spiritual realization. Yeah. So this is like the ABC, which we learn from Bhagavad-gita, the difference between matter and spirit. And one can learn that from a teacher. And then a spiritual master, by various instructions, teaches his students to get free from the material concept of life. For instance, in Bhagavad-gita, we find Krishna instructing Arjuna to free from materialistic considerations. Yeah, so this was very short, and we'll continue later today with the 14th chapter. So, thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So how to end this, we don't know.